Welcome to We Are Old, Get Over It, the podcast for active senior living and getting the most out of life. I'm your host, Ken Gluckman. During our summer break, we share highlights of some of our favorite conversations from the past year. These are just short clips from the full-length episodes. You can find the link to the original episodes in the show notes here, or just search the episode title on our YouTube channel or in your preferred podcast app. Help us share this useful and informative information by inviting your family and friends to visit our podcast. Share a clip or an episode with them, and it will give you something to talk about. And now, let's laugh and learn for the week. A reliable source mentioned to me that every social security number in America is already on the dark web. Is that true? Or mostly?
Yeah, probably.
That's not a good thing, is it?
A lot are. That's for sure. That's for sure.
What can they do with your social security number?
Say that again?
What can they do with your social security number?
Steal your identity and then use your stolen identity to defraud you of your life savings.
Which is really what they're after, is the money. They don't really care about you.
Some care about the identity. For instance, even though it's still fraud and theft and fraud, my social security number is or was, according to the IRS, in a letter I got in 2024, being used by someone to work. The IRS didn't seem as concerned about finding them as I might have liked or stopping that, but it did cause me to have to lock down. I can't file my taxes without having a brand new PIN, right? Mm-hmm. And creating a lot of security features. But at the same time, because it's on the dark web, I was getting a call from the ID protection that AARP actually provides us as employees, that they're like, you're not in wherever, South Carolina, opening a T-Mobile account, right? No, I am not. And then at the same time, my bank account got hacked. So it's being used for a variety of things, but it could be just to work because maybe you have a criminal record or, maybe you don't have a social security number.
Well, in 2024 and 2025, there were a number of very serious breaches of social security numbers. So people should always be aware of that. And why is a credit freeze your number one tool? And how do you get it?
Well, you have to go to the credit bureaus for a credit freeze. We have some articles about it on AARP.org. It's pretty easy to Google this. And I have to get this right, but I think one credit bureau can freeze your credit for all three. There are some temporary ones and there are some more permanent ones. And then you have to have a good reason, like your social security number. The IRS told you someone has your social security number to get some things done. But the freeze makes it so that, for instance, you walk into a big box store, you have your purchase, they say to you, do you want to open a credit card and save 10% today? You would say yes, and you'd get that credit card. But if your credit was frozen, they wouldn't be able to get that. But neither would someone else. So one time, and this is way back in the day, like 25 years ago, my wallet got stolen and they were able to use that theft to set up credit card accounts at multiple huge stores, buy tons of stuff on it. And then even alarmingly, take out life insurance policies on me because I think that was would you like to open a life insurance policy? Check yes. But they were able to go into those stores and open credit in my name and use that credit. If there had been a freeze, that wouldn't have happened, and it won't happen.
Right. You mentioned AI, and there's my daughter's voice is all over her Instagram account. You're telling me that someone can steal that, correct? And how does that work? And how long does it take for them to hear a voice like yours or mine?
I mean, a couple seconds of audio. Hello, how are you? I think it's not hard to find examples of deep fakes that have been exposed on the internet when talking about celebrities or politicians. There's a piece of legislation right now, bipartisan, that AARP has endorsed. I happen to know a little bit about it because it's a U.S. Senator from Connecticut, Richard Blumenthal, who's the or one of the originating co-sponsors. But, it says legitimate companies and everyone have to identify that they're using AI in a chat bot, et cetera, to talk to you moving forward. Now that law has to pass. And what does it do to those who are criminals? There's only so much you can do to make a criminal follow the law. But, it would identify real use of AI, legitimate use of AI versus this fake AI that is having your granddaughter's voice cloned, your teacher from 5th grade's voice cloned, calling you saying, I'm in the hospital, I need help. Then there's, it's grandma, I got arrested. Don't tell mom, help me. It's kind of like grandparent scam 2.0. But that impersonation, trying to convince you to send them money by using personal voices, sharing personal information, it's all over the place, Ken. And it is literally like the fastest growing fraud that there is.
What's a ghost hack?
I had to look up what a ghost hack was too. I can't remember. Honestly, this is why I tell you, I'm not an expert.
Hold on.
I can't remember what I found out.
Let's move on, because I know that it's like getting a note from Microsoft saying they detected a virus.
Oh, okay. So
that's what it is.
This is the remote access into your computer, right?
Right.
So it's also sometimes referred to as the tech support scam, like the pop-up notification comes accompanied by a siren or a freezing screen or, something that makes you panic with a toll-free number or them connecting to you via, computer audio or video. And, you're told, give me access to your device remotely. We can resolve this image. And then you get basically malware that'll steal your login, your passwords, et cetera. Back in the day, this has to be 15 or more years ago. And this is something to be concerned about too, is I was having a computer problem, and I went to Google and I tried to figure out where I could get some remote support. And of course I got remote support that was a scam. So because, algorithms and making sure your scam is at the top of the Google search list is still a problem. So it can happen when they come in and ghost hack you, or when you go out and accidentally pull down the wrong info, bad info. But it lets someone into your computer and then they steal everything.
Let's do a quick pulse check for the listeners. True or false? The FBI calls you to help with an undercover sting. True or false?
No, false. The FBI is not calling you. FBI doesn't need your help. And if the FBI does need your help, I have a feeling you're going to know that it's real. They're not going to call. They don't need help moving money to a safe locker. They don't need any of that. No. Nope.
Okay. All right. So I hope that the audience is listening to this, because this happens tens of thousands of times in the United States every single day. So the odds are that something like this is going to happen to you. Remember what Nora has said. Okay. Another one. I get a text from Amazon about a late package with a link. Do I click it?
No, don't ever click it. So that's a trapdoor. It happens for FedEx, USPS, Amazon, anybody you can think of that would normally be coming to your home, right? So go to the app or the website directly. That is where the truth is. The truth is not in the text. It might be in a push notification from the app. It's not in a text.
Okay. Another one. How often do I need to change my passwords? I mean,
okay.
I go ahead.
Well, honestly, there's kind of two answers to here, right?
Okay.
To this. So one is stop using passwords. We're moving more to passkeys. There are apps that can do this for you on your phone and on your computer. You can use biometrics like your face or your thumbprint. They're much more difficult to phish, but also sometimes, there's an update and you still need to have a password. But, make your passwords all different. Change them at least every 3 months. Modify them when you change them. Don't keep using the same one over and over again. They'll get it.
I'm a guilty party. I'm not even going to say
it's hard.
I'm a bum. Okay. I use LastPass, which keeps all of because how am I going to remember the 400 things that I have passwords for? Probably it's 600 at this point.
Yeah.
There's no way you can remember all of them. And of course, I'm just a regular human being. If I have a password that works for me and I say, well, why don't I just use this one? I'll use it for the next 25 things and I've got it. And all they have to do is get one, right? And off they go to the races.
Yeah, you get that one little thing of malware and now they have access to 600 accounts.
Exactly.
So, I mean, the other thing to do is to use something that you can remember, but that has a change that involves the app or website you're talking about or the company you're talking about, right? So XYZ PDQ and it's Amazon. So you figure out, you use a 3-letter
right. I understand.
code and just make sure there's some changes. But really, honestly, everything should be unique and password managers do help with that.
Okay. So I can send you all my passwords and you can fix them up for me, right?
No. And that's
okay.
what my staff said. And then I'll use the last 4 digits of my phone number from when I was growing up, and I'll have your PIN to everything.
Exactly.
Or as another staff member said, she's more senior. She said, or just use my the year I was born. That would help too. Like these are things that are so easy, especially the year you were born, for the unsophisticated hacker to figure out.